the Kumasi mission covers 3/4 of the whole country of Ghana, even though there's 4 missions. It's like when the new mission, when the new mission will get his call packet, sort of it shows the boundary of your mission, and they'll see that like the whole 3/4 northern half of the country is in the Kumasi mission, which looks really daunting, but most of it, missionaries aren't even there yet because the church hasn't gotten there yet and the church hasn't really developed. Even while I was there, the church grew a lot farther north. Kumasi was the farthest north the church has been, and now it's got even 6 hours farther north in another town called Tamale. There's 10 regions in Ghana, and the Kumasi mission covers 6 of those 10 regions. I guess historically, most people in the Kumasi mission, at least in the region that Kumasi's in, is called the Ashanti region, and they speak a local dialect. It's called Twi, Twi, but it's pronounced Chi. And for most missionaries in the Kumasi mission, they'll have a lot of exposure to Twi. That's probably the language I speak the best of all the ones I heard, even though I don't speak it fluently because it's English speaking. But the Ashanti region is part of the old Ashanti kingdom, which actually still exists. There's an Ashanti king, and there's chiefs and all those things. So Ghana is really interesting. Politically, it has 2 separate governments in a way. It has the republic, or like the democratic government. So they have a president and they have a parliament and things like that where people vote for them. But traditionally, they also have chiefs and kings, depending on what tribe you're from. And they have a lot of autonomy amongst themselves. So like if you want to buy land, for example, to build a house, you would get your land from the king. You wouldn't get it from the Ghanaian government, even though there's a lot of dispute over that. So that's really an interesting part about Ghana, understanding the different political spheres sort of overlapping each other there. The Kumasi mission is probably one of the most diverse missions in Ghana, because it includes the northern regions. In the north, it's different than in Kumasi, because Kumasi, everyone speaks the same language. They speak Twi, and then half of them speak English. But when you get into the north, about every village speaks a new language. And so you get tons and tons of languages up in the north, and there's missionaries up there now. But because of that, because of the different languages that they have, they all learn English up in the north, because that's the only way they can communicate with each other, is they had to learn sort of a common language. And ever since when Ghana adopted English as their national language, all the northern regions learned English so that they could communicate with each other and trade with each other. Whereas in the Ashanti kingdom, they're a lot more stubborn, and everyone already spoke Twi. So it was easy for them to keep speaking Twi as opposed to adopting English, which is really hard because it affects missionary work in the sense that the West Africa Area Presidency came out and told us that we weren't allowed to teach anybody that didn't speak English, because there's various reasons, but mainly because the church didn't have any materials printed in Twi. So if you teach and baptize someone who doesn't speak English, they can't read their scriptures, they can't understand the sacrament prayers and all those things. And so the area presidency told us that for now we can only teach English speakers, which is really difficult because they were so stuck on to their language, a lot of people didn't speak English. And it's really difficult as a missionary to find someone, and they're so sweet and they're kind and they want to hear what you have to say, but just because they didn't speak English, we weren't allowed to teach them, which was a big problem. But there were some areas in the north. Unfortunately, I never served up in the northern regions. I served my whole mission in the Ashanti region. But in the northern, it's a lot easier to find people speaking English because they're more used to it, because they have to use it with each other. So that's a big thing to know about the Kumasi mission.
So now where it's at, I've been home for 3 years, and both of our missions have split. So Accra has split, Cape Coast has split, so now there's 4 missions in Ghana. and we're now reaching close to the north border. When I was there, it was really the southern, all of the southern side of Ghana, but now missionaries are being sent to the north part. So it's exciting. There's definitely some growth going on in Ghana. It's a good time.